section. He committed yesterday evening to Baylor from Kilgore College. Again, I mentioned this, that I covered that region for about 30 years. And they were in the national tournament, Kilgore College. Brian Holbright is the head coach. There's a connection. There's always a connection. Bill Peterson, who's on the Baylor staff, has known Coach Holbright for quite some time. Also, Chad McCoy is on the Kilgore College basketball staff. He's a Baylor graduate and also was a GA for Baylor for a couple of years as well. So there's a connection there as well. He flew kind of under the radar until last summer. He went to a GA 48 showcase in Florida. That's where he's from, the top returning sophomore junior college players. And that's where he all of a sudden popped, had a lot of offers. Baylor was waiting to see how their roster was able to kind of like, okay, what's going to happen? Because if Akinjo doesn't leave, then this spot's probably not open. And so they waited, but they've been on D'Antoine for quite some time. Things worked out. They offered him, and he'll join Baylor with 3 years left of eligibility.
So he's third transfer in less than a week. I mean, that's a
loaner from Brigham Young, Jalen Bridges, West Virginia, and yes, actually is a transfer, a junior college transfer in D'Antoine Grimes from Kilgore College.
Third transfer in a week, and based on a conversation that was had earlier, they've got one scholarship available. So, Adam Flagler?
No,
Matthew Meyer?
In my opinion, if Flagler comes back, it's open. And I don't think you're going to see Matthew Meyer back at Baylor.
Regardless of anything. No. Yeah, okay. And that's all you need to say. And yeah, so like I'm kind of there too of like Matthew Meyer's played his last days in green and gold most likely because quite simply they don't have room now. And I think you guys would agree. Would you rather have Adam Flagler back than Matthew Meyer next year?
Yeah, and look, there's always ways to create another scholarship by maybe moving somebody who's not going to play on down into the transfer portal themselves. But do you do that to them after May 1st when they won't be able to play in the winter? They would be able to play after the semester maybe, and again, so there's a lot of complicated things going on here, and May 1st is a key deadline. I don't think Matthew Meyer is going to play college basketball anymore anyway, so I think it winds up being a moot point as long as Adam Flagler does, in fact, come back.
He could, though. I mean, if it doesn't work out, he could come back. It's just he probably wouldn't be coming back to Baylor. He'd have to go somewhere else, and maybe he goes and makes some NIL money in the meantime or something. But, it looks like it's probably NBA or transfer portal for him, and I don't really see him going to the transfer portal. But then again, I don't know his intentions. But it did lead to an interesting conversation earlier of Jack and Grayson were going back and forth on this about Adam Flagler, and it's kind of a weird position to be in because you can't be mad at him. He's doing what's best for him, and he's exploring the NBA, right?
Can't be mad at anybody that does that.
No, but at the same time, if you're Scott Drew and staff, there's this transfer out there that you really want. You may have noticed this. Where's he from, Jack? Where's that new transfer from? That one that everybody's going crazy over? South Dakota State. That's the kid from South Dakota State. Like 50 schools have already offered him, and it's all the blue bloods. And Baylor's one of those schools. So it's just an interesting position where you can't be mad at Adam Flagler for being in the draft, but they also kind of need to know what he's going to do. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they know already, but it makes for an interesting set of circumstances for that final, what looks like that final roster spot.
I'm not trying to make, by any means am I influencing Adam Flagler. He doesn't listen to me. Great young man. Fantastic young man, like all the other ones seem to be as well. I just think that Adam Flagler wants to kind of get an idea. But I think if Adam Flagler decides he's going to just test the waters, he's coming. That's why we have Ashley on today. I wanted Ashley to help answer some of those roster questions for us as well. And he'll do that with us at 4 o'clock. But if Flagler comes back, you have the guards, Flagler, Cryer, George, Love, and Bonner. That's pretty salty. Along with then your bigs that include Bridges, Thamba, Lohner, and then Turner, Loveday, Joshua, who's the young class of 2022 player, big, tall drink of water, and then, of course, Jonathan Chamwachachua, who will probably not be available for the 2022 season, but down the road at some point. Let's break here, come back with